Welcome to Question Entertainment. I'm Christopher Willett.
And I'm Emily Meehan, and today we'll be looking at Cult of Sincerity.
Cult of Sincerity was the first full-length movie released on YouTube. It's now available as a download for under $5, or you can buy the $20 DVD. Cult of Sincerity is the story of a bunch of hipster postmodern college students. One of them, at an open mic night, gets up and begins ranting, realizing that their lives were empty, and goes on a quest to actually be sincere, to actually find out how you should live your life, and simultaneously trying to find the most sincere statement he can put on a t-shirt. How was it?
Well, at first, I thought it was going to be some weird Christopher movie, because I was like, when you said Cult of Sincerity, I thought, I haven't even heard of that. And then you're like, go to YouTube, and then I went to YouTube and I couldn't get it, and I went to Amazon and I paid my $2. And I got my movie, and Brian and I settled on the couch to watch it, and but at first, I was pleasantly surprised. I really liked it. My favorite part was when he gets up at the coffee house on stage and he just starts ranting about self-obsessed, whiny, privileged 20-something college graduates who sit there and whine and pretend to have all this angst, and I was like, yes! I loved it. Everything he said was relevant and true and scathing in a nice way. He said it sort of like, I know, I do it too. And
he says that we pride ourselves that we don't watch MTV, but we all still dress alike.
Exactly. So I loved that part. So it started off great for me and slowly declined the rest of the movie.
At the beginning, I was a bit off because I thought the main character was ripped off from How I Met Your Mother. After I warmed up to it, I loved the way it took this out there philosophy and broke it down and tried to live it in real life, showing the ridiculousness of our society where trying to live a sincere life is hard because everything's against it. And I did think it was entertaining, and it had really great philosophy stuff with cute lines.
I liked when he was just apologizing.
Yes.
Free apologies.
And the people, and
it comes to the interracial gay male couple. Says,
I don't know where to start.
Yes. My summary is, in the beginning, I really liked it, and by the end, I sort of liked it.
I thought it was a fun movie. It held me all the way through.
The end just ruined it for me, which I don't think it ruined it for you.
The end didn't really solidify. The end was like, now this is where we're going. It was almost like the end of the Fellowship of the Rings without the other two movies. Everybody had figured out where they're heading.
I did not see that. When it ended, I felt like they were just as aimless as they started.
Is it good for kids?
I think it's good for older kids, teenagers. I don't think there's anything like seriously damaging in it for younger kids, but it wouldn't be interesting at all to a child. There's nothing that would appeal to a child. They wouldn't understand it. They wouldn't care to understand it. So in that sense, no. But teenagers, definitely.
Yeah. There is swearing, though they never take the Lord's name in vain. They do have the promiscuous girl, but they only talk about it. They never show it.
Right. It's just implied. And
the only nudity is his unattractive, skinny male roommate who plays video games in his boxers.
Which is pretty funny. My only hesitation with teenagers is that if they just see it to see it, if they're not watching it as a discussion piece, they probably, if not definitely, would miss the entire point.
Yes.
Anything redeeming, and just think it was cool, and like cool people, and probably end up in a coffee shop.
Right, yeah.
Looking identical someday. That's, they're not going to be scarred, but they're not going to get any of this. I can't imagine a teenager watching it and actually thinking any of this. But could you watch it with your teenagers? Sure.
That's where I think the beauty of this movie is. This movie, it brings up all these issues in this entertaining way. So you can have hours of conversation, or you can just totally miss the point. And if you miss the point on this one, it's almost got a negative message.
Exactly. What about spiritual issues?
This movie does involve a man trying to find purpose in life apart from God. and generally failing, and it's shown comically how much it doesn't work. At the end, they have their Yoda character explain that the point is love, and you believe in love if you're a Christian. It's not brought any further than that. The hard part about that is the actual line is, do you believe in love? I'm a Christian, you mother. And they don't stop. And it didn't even so much bother me that the Christian was swearing.
But
he was rude to him. I'm like, I believe in love. It was just a very unloving thing to say.
Yes. You say that in the end, they say love is what matters and you love if you're a Christian. I'm still not totally convinced that's what they were saying.
Yes. There's
because he said it like that.
Yeah.
Almost in a way of like, of course I do, you idiot.
Right.
But in a way like, oh, of course I do, I'm a Christian, but like even more rude. I don't know. It's a little weird, and I don't totally get why they did it. I
fear it was just trying to not come off dopey. If he just hadn't been insultive.
Exactly.
Because more than the fact that he cussed, which that was really shocking, because he said he was a Christian. Generally, that's not followed up with the F word. So, again, fine to watch the movie and have discussion, because you can discuss that. And you can say and come to that point where you say, if he's saying this Christian missed the point, that's a good message. If he's saying Christianity missed the point, that's a really poor message. But on its own, you just kind of go. But in Mercy Streets, there is a man whose life is falling down, and he's talking to a priest. And they wanted the priest to be imperfect because he's pointing to Jesus. He's not perfect. So the line they gave him was, Jesus, unlike my ex-wife, accepts you no matter what. No, or accepts your imperfections. But that line was brilliant because you saw... But he's imperfect. He's imperfect. He wasn't... Like, he didn't have it all together. He knew it was Jesus. And I think they accomplished what they were trying to accomplish in Cult. But I think Cult ended up muddying the waters with the way they went about it. So what's our recommendation? See it. Wow. That's right. I said it. I don't think it's going to be the best movie that you've ever seen. I don't think it's going to be the most entertaining movie that you've ever seen. And if you watch this first, we might have killed it for you because we got, we did all the thinking for you. And we've done the thing that the movie didn't. We had the conversation for you. Yeah, we had the conversation for you. But I think it's worth seeing. If nothing else, to challenge yourself. The thing I walked away with it is, keep your eyes open. If you want to live a sincere life, don't walk past the homeless lady on your steps. And I think that's a reminder anybody can use. Yeah. All the time. If you find it entertaining, I don't think it's damaging. But if you happen to be in the postmodern crowd or the college group, the young adults group, I think it'd be worth checking out and considering having a night where you're going to watch the movie and discuss it. Which, if you're going to do that, you can go to the website, cultofsincerity.com, and the filmmakers are actually willing to arrange an internet link to be in on that conversation with you if they can schedule it. Seriously, I think... Let's just call him and ask him then. What the heck was the What were you thinking? What was that? If you do that, please ask him that question and let me know. Or you can just call us and we'll come over and have the conversation with you. On YouTube, please click subscribe. On our blog, please click the RSS feed. I'm getting there, but I know it's just sloganism, and we could get into the Beatles song and... Did you ever listen to Larry Norman? No, but Adriana did, and she used to tell me all about Larry Norman. I'm really sad I cut you off now. I really like the fact that you sing in almost every episode. I can't help it. I didn't even think about that. But they were just as lost as they were when they began, because they have no idea what they believe in, and they have no idea how to be sincere, because you can only be sincere about what you know is true, and I don't think that they know anything is true, and so they're aimless. And I think that was part of it, although it got boring as he wandered through life and you stopped caring